Good Tuesday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain AccuWeather, coming to you by way of the Captain AccuWeather Command Center. On behalf of Weigel's Fuel and Food that's fast, fresh, and friendly, here's your East Tennessee update. I got a great news update. Eggnog is back. If you haven't heard, oh yes, the Weigel's all-time classic is back for a limited time. If you haven't tried it yet, maybe you haven't. Maybe you're new to town. Maybe you're just new to East Tennessee and you didn't know it's Tennessee's favorite. It's back. Eggnog is delicious. Pick up the quart, pick up the half gallon. I've already gone through a half gallon or so. Just in the Aldridge household, it's time to get more. Maybe you need some more eggnog. It's just better when it's fresh. Farm to store in 24. It's just better when it's from Tennessee cows. No one in this part of the world is going to argue with that notion. It is better when it's with Tennessee cows, but the eggnog is back. We just wanted to share that with you and thank Weigel's for being my sponsor for this weather segment. By the way, we've got a lot to cover because when I talk about the weather today, I'm going to talk about record heat. Check. We're going to talk about the rain. How much rain are we going to see this week? Got that answer. And the Missouri Vols forecast. You know the Vols are going to Columbia, Missouri on Saturday. What kind of weather can they expect? What kind of weather can you expect if you're traveling to that game? I can tell you this morning, it's not bad in terms of fog. Anytime you see a 10 by your town or city, it means that's the maximum amount of visibility. So fog is not, I repeat, not an issue this morning, but it has been since August. Seems like we've had fog issues in some parts of East Tennessee day after day. But there are some gray areas in Kansas. They're under some fog advisories. I believe Houston, Texas, if I expand the view, maybe into some fog concerns down there. But really, the quiet weather across the southeast continues. Doesn't look all that bad in Florida today. We've got some rain and snow back toward the Rockies near Salt Lake City. And oh yes, lo and behold, in northern Maine, they've got some snow changing to ice. Oh, don't you like ice? You know, sleet, freezing rain, you know, the whole mix, the whole kit and caboodle, as they might say. But it's raining in Montreal, and it's raining in Boston. If you're playing the home game version, I like to play that. Some of you might like to know who's got snow on the ground? Well, this shows you right here. This shows you. Now, we've been warming up. Granted, yesterday's high, let's see my notes, was 75 degrees. That was our high yesterday. But it's going to be even warmer today. But even those areas in the Pacific Northwest and in the northern plain states, like the Dakotas, are beginning to see their snow cover shrink. And only in the Rockies do they see most of that snow still lingering on the ground this morning. So there's some areas that over 100 inches of snow in some of the higher terrain in Montana, Wyoming, and in the Rockies. Hard to imagine. But today, our focal point, our focus, is going to be record heat. Now, it's going to be within reach. I say within reach. Now, yesterday or 2 days ago, I was 78. Today, I went 79. So I think we're right on par with we could nudge it. I think if we haven't hit it by 4 p.m., we're not going to hit it. Because remember, 4 p.m. was, well, last week's 5 p.m., right? Because we changed the clocks. So our earlier day, in fact, that our sun goes down before 6 p.m., takes some adjustment. But if you are playing the home game version, I think we've got a better chance tomorrow of hitting the record high from 2005. 1996, who was in office? Bill Clinton. So the Bill Clinton office was in the office in 1996, and of course George W. Bush in 2005. So these have been on the books for quite some time, mind you. But once we get past Wednesday, that enjoyment of record warmth will fade from view as we will get cooler in time for the weekend. If you're on the call, just want to say hi to you and say hi. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Facebook. I'm doing both at the same time because I'm trying to multitask. But if you're on the call, we'd love to say hi. Wanda Poe says, David, good morning, everyone. Be careful with the burning. Absolutely. We'd recommend you not do the burning. Given how dry it is, we are under an extreme drought. That's like level 4 out of 5 categories. Not a good sign, especially from Knoxville points west. We'll be getting a new drought monitor on Thursday morning, but they're taking into consideration everything through 8:30 this morning. It's kind of confusing, but they have to ingest all the data from 8:30 Tuesday, and then they finally, through the supercomputers, push out a new report on Thursday morning. Dennis Hatcher says, good morning. Glad to have Dennis here. He's one of my premium members. Pete says, good morning, Captain. And Pete says he's traveling to New Albany, Indiana for the day. Hope you have a safe trip there, Pete. Glad to have Pete on the call. And also I want to check out, check on YouTube, because we're trying to do both here and multitasking. I see Steve Stone. He says, good morning. He's got the smiley face. I assume he's got the smiley face. He's up early. And glad to have you both on YouTube and Facebook. So here we go. Record heat, if you haven't heard, is on the table today. If we hit 78, say, oh, you blew it. I don't really think I blow it. I think if I'm within 2 or 3 degrees of a daily high, I feel like I've done a good job. But if you're dressed for 79 this afternoon, you'll be prepared. And if you're dressed for 82 tomorrow, well, you'll be prepared. It's going to be a very warm reach, or at least a warm stretch of days today and tomorrow, that I can assure you. So that's where temperatures are going to be. Where are they now? You said there's something wrong with this map. That one says it's 41 Athens and 59 Oneida. You know, that's 18 degrees difference. Yep. How weird is that? Oh, if you follow the red arrows, that's where the wind is moving. So it may be 55 at McGee-Tyson, but only 41 in Athens. 47 in Middlesboro. Some really weird numbers this morning. Some, if I said you're starting off in the 50s, you might be in Jacksboro saying, hogwash, it's 45. How could you be off 10 degrees? And you're like, you're trying to parse between 1 degree for the afternoon? Yeah. Isn't that weird? It's not easy being accurate, right? Not easy being accurate when you got temperatures that are that close in the afternoon, but in the morning, they're 10, 15, 18 degrees different. Oh, you got a tough job. Yeah, because it's East Tennessee, right? Everybody loves to say East Tennessee, hardest place in the country to forecast. I wouldn't say that's true. It's a difficult place when you've got 3 different distinct areas like the Smokies, Plateau, and Valley, but every area has its own unique challenges. That I can grant you. But with temperatures this morning all over the map, this is a classic example where nowhere is everywhere the same. It's not one size fits all. Temperature, one size doesn't fit all. We've got 64 right now in Jackson, Kentucky. It's 56 in Nashville and 45 Johnson City. All over the map. Almost 20-degree difference between Johnson City and Jackson, Kentucky. That might make your mind blow up, but hopefully we'll get through this. By the way, the winds are going to be picking up today, about 5 to 15 out of the southwest. So we've got a 14-mile-an-hour wind right now in Wartburg, which might account the fact that they're warmer than Athens, who has no wind at all at the moment. Now, what about the cloud cover? We're going to find a bright, sun-filled day, maybe a few cirrus clouds, particularly in the early morning. But I think you're going to find a bright, sun-filled day across the sky, and you're going to like the way it looks. And certainly, if you're a warm weather fan, you're going to like the way it feels. Temperature right now in Memphis is 65. But they're 35 in Rapid City, South Dakota, 33 in Caribou, where they may be getting a wintry mix up there in northern Maine at this hour, 33 in Bismarck. Let's get you ready for the day. It is 6:47. My goal is to be done at the top of the hour, just to give you all the nuts and bolts that you need to know, and then you can carry on, right? 7:04 is when the sun comes up. That's just a few minutes from now, thanks to the changing of the clocks. It could have been 8:04. And would have been 8:04 if maybe we're Arizona, didn't play this daylight standard time, that type of thing. But it is what it is, 7:04, but goes to bed now at 5:35. Boo. Really? Sunset, 5:35. Can we not make it a little long? Nope, can't do that. It's just, you got to take one or the other. Valley Planner, as you can see, my expectation is that the record high is within reach. Because if we hit 79, it's a tie. If we hit 78, you might say a swing and a miss. Well, I'll take that. It's close enough because the average high is 63. We are well above normal today. Well, by 16 degrees above average, I think, today. With bright sunshine, notice we're topping off in the middle latter part of the afternoon, about 3 p.m. That's when I think we'll hit that 79. Here's my expectation today. Clearly a big difference. Crossville, Cumberland County, 75. Oneida, 75. Middlesboro, hazy sun, 76. And they could easily nudge 80 in Kingston, Rockwood, Harriman. Easily hit 80 in Nyota, Philadelphia, Sweetwater, and Athens. Tellico Plains and Madisonville may hit 80 today. You say, that's fantastic, because it's only going to get a few degrees warmer come tomorrow. Here are the headlines. I think this is important. Record highs within reach today and Wednesday. And finally, the weatherman says we're going to get some rain. It'll come in sparse areas on Thursday, but our best chance will come on Friday. And if you don't get some rain on Friday, well, you're not in East Tennessee. I've got an 80% chance. So what you're saying is we've got a chance. We got a chance. We're going to get some rain. But there are going to be some areas north of I-40 that get much more rain than those south of I-40. It's just the way things are setting up. Doesn't mean it's a shoe-in. We can tweak that forecast once we get closer to Friday, but that's my expectation. Could you show me what that looks like? Absolutely, I can show you what that looks like. Here's the future rainfall. As you can see, the clock is feverishly moving, but we'll stop it at 7 o'clock on Thursday evening. And you'll notice Maryville feels like they've been shortchanged. Sevierville might say, I didn't get anything. You weather people are wrong. No, we're not wrong. It's just we're leaving a 30% chance of of rain for Thursday. But the best chance will be north of Interstate 40 on Thursday, right through 7 p.m. But once we pass 7 p.m., I don't know, magical time there, let's go into Thursday night, Friday. Let's fill in the gaps. Ooh, look at Oneida. Does that say 1.2? Ooh, it does. Ooh, Jamestown. Does that show an inch and a quarter, Jamestown? It sure does. But alas, only a quarter, maybe a half along Interstate 40. You see what I mean? This could be, might be, geographically heavy north of Interstate 40. Now you say every drop counts. I'll take it. I'm in that camp, given the fact that we're over 3.5 inches below normal for the year. And McGee Tyson, that's true. But we could take every drop that falls. Now, if it's only a quarter inch, maybe it's only 2/10 if you're in Athens, or a quarter in Sevierville. That takes us to 11 o'clock Friday, and it's pretty much done. There's nothing more to track, nothing more to see as we head through that particular time frame. I want to say good morning to you if you're on the call. Marilyn Bell on YouTube says, happy Tuesday. Great to see you. We were in Keith in Newmarket yesterday. We had our Tennessee Spotlight. By the way, if you like these Tennessee Spotlights, I've done now 39 of them. My next one will be 40. I can't believe I've almost done 40. But if you've seen the pictures, I've got about 80 pictures from yesterday's outing in Newmarket, Jefferson County. You got to check it out. Some great pictures. And maybe if you didn't know about the mineral water, I didn't know about that story until yesterday. So if you got to check out some pictures, some really great information there on my Facebook page. And over here on Facebook, Pete says your play accent of the low voice sounds like me. My New York accent always. It's my devil's advocate. Because anytime I post something, somebody might say, take that tone with me. And I appreciate it. That's why I'm trying to communicate what I expect. I don't want to make a blanket statement that everybody's going to hit a record high today, but we will be within reach. I do believe that. Danny says, good morning. Hope you have a wonderful day. Go Vols. Got that forecast. That's coming up. My next slide. Danny, you're reading my mind. Felicia says, good morning. Remember, in Knox County, it's voting day. That's right. Thank you for reminding me. Kids aren't going to school in many cases, right, because they're using the school for polling stations, but make sure you get out and vote today. Great reminder, Felicia. Thank you for letting me know. And Carrie says, good morning. Everyone have a fantabulous day. I did know it was election day. It's just that with 7 days of forecasting, all in this package of this presentation, it did slip my mind. But I'll tell you what has not slipped my mind. The eggnog. I can tell you it's back. Weigel's new eggnog. Oh, of course, it's been around. It's all-time classic eggnog. But it's back in stores for a limited time, and that's what makes it new. It's back, and it's Tennessee's favorite eggnog. Delicious. Grab the pint, grab the half gallon. You'll be happy that you did. Grab a couple of bottles. By the way, Weigel's, it's just better when it's fresh. Farm to store in 24, just better when it's with Tennessee cows. Of course, the eggnog is one of the main reasons people love to go to Weigel's this time of year. But again, you can fill up your tank, you can grab some hot coffee, and if you're new to East Tennessee, make sure you pick up some of the eggnog today. I think you'll be impressed. Now, I talked about the rain. Heavier rains will be north as we head into Friday. Let's fast forward for a moment to Saturday. Tennessee, Missouri. I find it fascinating, because I'm not the sports person that you might be, but I find it interesting that we're ranked 14 and they're ranked 16. That we have 7 wins and 2 losses. They have 7 wins and 2 losses. So I would think this, on paper, this looks like a pretty good, evenly matched game, and they've got home field advantage. Go Big Orange. But temperatures will be cooling about 10 degrees during the course of the game. Now, 3:30 on CBS is Eastern time. So it's 2:30 Central Time, and this is at Memorial Stadium in Columbia. I expect a partly cloudy day, and winds will be about southeast 3 to 8 miles per hour. So I don't expect rain to be an issue, but you might want a light jacket if you're traveling there. It's a little bit of a drive. Think about it. You're between St. Louis and Kansas City. You're right in the heart of Missouri there in Columbia. But go Vols, excited about the game, but temperatures will be cooling through the 50s. By the way, the tropics look like they're more active in this regard, because there's some heavy rains in red with the clouds moving across the central part of the state. However, the National Hurricane Center says, nope, not so fast. There's not much to see here. And last I checked, it's November 7th. And the hurricane season officially ends November 30th. So there may not be, could be, not much to see left here. Well, we got to Tammy, but we did not get to Vince. We did not get to Whitney. That's not to say something else couldn't form later on this month. It could. But right now, things look pretty hush and quiet in the Atlantic. Right now, we have 55 degrees. Some of you can't drive 55. Some of us say, it's not 55, it's 45. Depending on where you are, we covered that. There's a vast number of temperatures this morning all over the map. Athens right now is 41. Middlesboro's in the 40s. Jacksboro's in the 40s. But Knoxville, McGee-Tyson, to be fair, with a south wind at 5, currently at 55 degrees. Now, our precipitation chances will go from 30% Thursday, 60% Thursday night, and then I think it's 80% on Friday. And we'll leave a 30% chance for something coming up from the south on Sunday. So it's not like we don't have some precipitation chances in the forecast. We do. It's just not going to cure all that ails us because we're over 3.5 inches below normal for the year. And we didn't get there overnight. It took a period of time, like all of September, all of October. We had the fifth driest September that we tied, and we tied for the ninth driest October. So it's been a very dry stretch for the last 2 months. But we did have an above-average August. Amazing how things can change just like a drop of a hat. Meanwhile, the Storm Prediction Center not showing much other than the first color on a few maps. Today's not one of them. The lower 48 looks dry. No thunderstorms to report today from the eyes and the prism of the Storm Prediction Center. That's what these maps represent. By tomorrow, there might be some thunderstorms scattered about from Michigan, northern Ohio, and northwestern sections of Pennsylvania, but nothing here, as we will be waiting for Thursday into Friday to get some rain. Now, once we move into Thursday, it looks like some thunder may occur in Arkansas, parts of Texas, but really not much to see here. Maybe northwestern Louisiana. Outside of that, Tennessee looks pretty quiet Thursday. So I don't expect thunder to be an issue on Friday. Now, Futurecast, how warm can we get and how quickly? Great question. Here at 6:56, I can dive into that. It's 12 noon. We should be around 73. This is one of those days where you might want to have lunch outside. Now, maybe you go to the polls, you do that first thing, maybe at lunchtime, and then after that, go outside and have some lunch outside. That might be a great to-do list for yourself, but that's up to you. 73 at lunchtime, and then we finish the day around 79. As you can see there, Maryville's got a 79, Knoxville maybe 78, so it's going to be close. The record high will be within reach today, and it goes back to 1996. Tomorrow, or by 5 o'clock, I should say, today might be getting a little bit cooler by a few degrees, and of course the sun's at a lower angle. We head into tomorrow morning, we're dropping down to about 51 degrees, the low 50s is where I expect to be first thing tomorrow, but we will warm up to about 73 once again. But the difference is that wind should push us into the lower 80s by about 3 to 4 p.m. tomorrow. So that's what, 3:45, 82 degrees, when the record high is 81 from 2005. It's within reach. There's no question that we've got 2 very warm days on the palette for today. Then we start to cloud up on Thursday, and naturally some rain will begin to form. But we have a very slow-moving front across the Midwest from just south of St. Louis today. Maybe a few showers up toward there near Louisville and heading toward Charleston, West Virginia. Once we move into Wednesday, we're really warm because all those red arrows have picked up. That's why, with temperatures tomorrow around 82, we're going to have winds 5 to 15 at least. That will probably be gusting closer to 25 on Wednesday. Once this cold front comes into town, we bring in some showers, and so it goes, and we'll get some reinforcements like this. Look at that. You mean that's Thursday night? Yeah, that's why I went 60%. And then Friday, I went 80%. I mean, how can you miss this big blob of green and yellow headed our way just in time for Friday? Yay, we need some rain. It'll come. 79 degrees for today. Bright sunshine. It's now 6:58. I'm wrapping up here on time. Record warmth within reach. 79 from 1996. Winds southwest 5 to 15. But you could easily nudge 80 for Kingston, Rockwood, Harriman, Nyota, Sweetwater, and Athens. 80 for Madisonville, Tellico Plains, and even Von Orr could be around 80 today. 77 for Pigeon Forge and Sevierville. 77 for Morristown, White Pine, Talbot, as well as Jefferson City. 79 for Cosby and Newport later today. But lower 80s will be much more common if you head west or southwest, like 82 in Chattanooga. They'll be around 70 in Lexington, 76 Bowling Green, but 83 in Tupelo, as tonight's lows will be in the upper 40s to low 50s. About 49 Morristown, 48 Middlesboro, 51 Crossville, Cumberland County. A shout out to you. About 51 in Knoxville. Here's your forecast tonight. Mostly clear and mild. Winds south-southwest 3 to 8 miles per hour. And here is your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville and East Tennessee. One thing you'll note, as our warming trend starts to trail off, I do have a very, an asterisk. I have us at 77. We're talking mid-70s on Thursday. And the 64 degrees, hear me now, believe me later, That 64 comes before the sun comes up. So if you work the third shift on, say, Friday and it's raining, you may enjoy 64, but if you're getting up at 6 or 7 or 8 in the morning and working out the day, we're already in the 50s, and that's where we're going to stay. So that's why I purposely put the down arrow. So if I'm going to be accurate, if I'm going to be precise, our highs go from midnight to midnight. 64 degrees, I think, is the maximum temperature we see on Friday, but it comes in the wee hours, and I mean wee hours of the night or the morning. I've got us down for an 80% chance of rain showers, and then it does level off into the low to mid 60s Saturday and Sunday at 63. And if we're lucky, we get more showers coming up from the south on Sunday afternoon and into Sunday night, but should be gone before the workday starts on Monday. I hope that helps. I'm trying to do my best to help all those involved to make sure that you're ready for the day and week ahead. By the way, if you're on the call, Danny says good morning. Esther, she says good morning, David. She's got 53 degrees. You're one of the warm temperatures, Esther. Thank you for that update. She's in Washburn. So Esther has 53 in Washburn. Denise says thank you for the forecast. I guess we won't do a garage sale Friday and Saturday. I think Saturday's fine. I mean, think about it. It's just in the cooler stretch of the weather. It's not as warm as today or tomorrow, but it's certainly salvageable. Friday, certainly the beneficial rain will come in, and we'll be very thankful. I think most of us will, as we head toward that. And I've come back on camera. I want to go back to anyone on YouTube if you're on the call. Oh, Steve Stones, he's smiling. There he is. Good morning. He's got a very smiley face. So if you're on YouTube, let me know. I'll try to answer all your questions as we go through the morning. By the way, if you haven't heard, the eggnog from Weigel's is back. Weigel's eggnog is back in stores for a limited time. It's never too early. And I could argue it's never too late, but never too early to enjoy your favorite eggnog. The all-time classic eggnog is back. Of course, eggnog is delicious, and you love it for this time of year. Weigel's has the best. Think about it. It's Tennessee's favorite. Tennessee's favorite eggnog is back. You got to check it out and make sure it's just better when it's fresh. We do know that when it's farm to store. Weigel's has been around since 1931, over 90 years serving our community. We're very thankful, very blessed to have them at a local Weigel's near you. And make sure, by the way, you pick up some hot coffee on this election day. You might be waiting in a brief line. If so, we thank you for you're doing your civic duty. So head to the polls today and make sure you pick up some of the cool drinks later today, because it will be getting a little warmer. Anyway, my name is David Aldridge. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. We'll see you here next time. Take care.